Hi, this is Pat DuPoit with Codecademy. I'm a web developer based in Washington, D.C. A product manager can seem like a straightforward role, but if you don't know what it is or want a little bit more clarity, you've come to the right place. The truth is that there are a lot of moving parts, and even I didn't know what it was before I really took a deep dive. So in this video, I'll discuss what a product manager is, what is their main focus, what are their concerns, and how do they get the job done. Sound good? Who's with me? So in this video, we'll cover what are the three main themes that a product manager has on their plate. So the first is going to be the high-level focus, the turning an idea into a reality, competition, and the overall course direction. Next, we'll move into stakeholder management, which means working with the heads of the company, working with customers and clients, and then finally working with the team. We'll wrap up by talking about their last focus, which is product success, the minimum viable product, or MVP, how to measure the efficacy of that product, and then honing the product so that it's even more successful. Before we get ahead of ourselves, we need to do a quick definition of what a product manager is. So if a product is something that makes a company money in some way, then a product manager is someone who is in charge of this money-making venture. Now, this could be a physical product line or a piece of software or a video game or even a service that's on or offline. Product managers need to work with three main stakeholders to accomplish this: company executives, their team of managers, designers, engineers, and support staff, and the target audience, the who the product is even for. This is what a product manager is. It can be confusing to separate product managers from project managers, and I'll link a video below that goes in depth as to what a project manager is. But for our purposes, a product manager has three priorities: high-level focus, stakeholder management, and overall product success. You see, depending on how complex a product is, product managers will need to break up the construction, maintenance, and oversight to their subordinates, and usually those are called project managers. But you can think of a product manager as analogous to the captain of a ship. They're in charge of the direction the ship is headed. But a product manager can't be everywhere all the time, so project managers are there to facilitate a number of things that need to happen for a ship to both stay afloat and actually complete the voyage. Let's talk about the first theme here, the high-level focus for a product manager, and specifically, how do they turn an idea into reality? So times change and so do business models, but some business models don't necessarily change, but the product model might. Put another way, the way that we do business today is a little bit different than the way we do it in the past. But there are just certain products that will never change. Take food, for example. 100 years ago, it would have been a foreign concept to have someone show up at your door with a bag of food you ordered 20 minutes ago from a phone that you communicated to another company through the thin air. That's pretty crazy. So product managers have to translate the spirit of the business model into something that can be bought. But there are technological realities and challenges and benefits. So a product manager's main focus in the high level is to take that product idea and turn it into reality given where they are at this point in time. But that comes with competition. Competition is the basic premise behind our current free market economic model. But there are very few places that a product can enjoy protections from competition from someone who thinks they can do it better than you or faster than you or even cheaper. So product managers have to distinguish their products against competitors who might be doing the same thing or something similar. This also means making it viable to the target audience. If there's no one who will buy the product, then a product will have a really tough time being a commercial success. Which means that the course direction is going to be really important. The primary focus of product managers is big picture and where is this product going. So while they may be involved in the lower level operations, they need to stay as high level focused in the operations as much as possible. That's because they're plotting the course. They need to make adjustments to the product as the nature of the business and product evolves. There are some factors that a product manager needs to take into consideration. Things like clients and partnerships coming and going, real-world factors like economic recessions or growth, customer and market feedback, competitors, regulations, and legal compliance. There's a lot of things that goes into it, but the course direction needs to be the focus of the product manager because they have to see the whole field, see what icebergs are ahead and where they need to speed up or maybe even slow down. There's a lot going on there. So once their high-level focus is set, a product manager needs to work with the stakeholders, and that can mean a lot of things. But in some cases, that means working directly with the heads of the company. Product managers translate the desires and concerns of the executives of a company into priorities for project managers to focus on. They can also push back against some of these executives to stay on track. If there is an addition or a subtraction that might deviate them from the course, product managers are typically the ones that push back on that. The truth is that companies face a lot of challenges in staying viable in an ever-changing market, and sometimes impulses or fears, however well founded by the executive team, in the short term can derail the product long term. So product managers walk a fine line between making things happen and stopping things from happening that could imperil success. The next group of stakeholders that product managers work with are the clients and customers. Products are ultimately tested by who they are designed for, and in order to improve on the success of a product manager must measure the success of the product. So this could mean soliciting feedback, conducting reviews, and listening to customer bases or clients to understand their needs better. Sometimes how a product performs in real life is different than what was anticipated by research and prediction. So by working with who the product actually ends up being for and getting their feedback can help a product manager make smarter decisions about the direction of the product. Lastly, to accomplish this, the product manager needs to work with their team. Because a product manager's high-level focus, they have to delegate a lot to their team to work on, and this means they have to take into account the team's different realities, constraints, and concerns. Maybe the company needs more employees or specific skills to accomplish the goal. This can mean hiring, but it could also mean letting team members go. A product manager's day-to-day is about finding the balance to get the product to market. Again, the focus of the product manager is the overall direction of the product and working with the stakeholders, but we measure the success of a product manager by the product's success. In order to do that with as little friction as possible, oftentimes companies will make what is known as an MVP, or minimum viable product. This means that all those nice-to-have features are sidelined, while only the essential features are built for the product launch. This can seem like a half-hearted attempt in product development, but the goal here is to determine if the product is viable at all based on the customer feedback, the clients, and the market realities. The thought behind an MVP, or minimum viable product, is that if the product can't succeed with all the bells and whistles of a fully developed product, it won't succeed with them. So if we're talking about success, we have to talk about how we measure success. To determine if an MVP or fully developed product will even succeed, we have to set up metrics contextually relevant for our product, because it is possible to measure a product by the wrong metrics, thus generating a false sense of confidence either in the product's success or even the product's failure. A product manager has to set what those metrics are because not all products are alike. The goal is to learn from the mistakes as well as the success. But we can't do that if we don't know when we succeed or when we fail. So once we've measured the success or the failure of a product, the product manager then takes that feedback and works with the company and stakeholders to expand or contract the product, maybe even change the course direction so that it ultimately succeeds. Sometimes product failure can be more insightful than initial success. Product managers are tasked with making a product successful, and that might mean tweaking, changing the direction. Nearly all products on the market have gone through iterative cycles of making the product better and thus more competitive because a product manager made course corrections along the way. This is Pat with Codecademy. I hope I answered all your questions about what a product manager is, but do you have any others? Do you want me to go in depth into something else? Leave a comment below or subscribe to this channel. I love responding to learners' questions. Check out the video description for some helpful links related to product management, but if you're ready to take your career to the next step, come on over to Codecademy. We'll help you get started.